Hello, I am Stephen Cookson and welcome to Quarterlight. This is the first introduction video. Quarterlight is a car channel looking through my collection of car brochures. As we look through each car, I'll give you a brief history of the vehicle, access the brochure's condition and age, and various features of the car within the brochure itself. I'm originally from the UK, so I do favour the ordinary low-powered European car, but we will feature a wide range of cars in this series, usually while drinking a nice cup of tea. I am located in Canada. Today is March the 2nd, 2022. It's a lovely sunny day and 12 degrees C. So let's begin. Car brochures have changed greatly over the years, and now getting phased out due to a preference of websites and downloadable sources. Many manufacturers don't even produce car brochures anymore. They will tell you that it's due to environmental reasons, although knowing the car industry, it will be for cost-saving issues for sure. So let's have a quick look at how we view car brochures today. Most will now simply look on the internet. So let's do that and see what we can find. Okay, so basically I've just gone onto the Mercedes-Benz website on the internet. This is a Canadian site, so it may look slightly different in different countries. But if we click on vehicles, basically these are brochures, but they're on the internet. They're under various different categories, sedans, coupes, etc. Various different makes and models within here. So if we just pick one randomly, let's just pick an SUV, the GLA. As we wait for that to load up, and then we'll have a look at this particular vehicle, how it appears on the site. Basically, like I say, this is how we would see an older brochure, but on the internet. You'll see the prices, various pictures of the vehicle, how the seats fold down, etc. You will notice always in these brochures they show pictures of the top of the range vehicle, not the base price. So as you can see here, you can get very fancy seats here in the sports package. You can guarantee that will pretty much as the car just to get that. But like I say, as you scroll down, these would be the pictures you would see in an older brochure. So you would see in an older brochure something similar to four-wheel independent suspension. You may see the engine. This is showing the torque, the turbo torque, and the gearbox. You may see them in older brochures as well. So it's basically the same format as what we've always seen. Again, you can see all the technology, which is obviously not something you really see in older brochures because there really isn't too much technology in older vehicles. Again, we will notice this in future videos. At the bottom, we show the colour choice. And again, in some of the brochures, you get a nice colour choice in the brochure as well, which is a lot nicer than seeing it on the screen. You get a better idea of what the colour actually is. What you do tend to notice in modern vehicles is the colour choice isn't anywhere near as much as we see in the older brochures. You get some wonderful colours in the older brochures. In this one particular one, for example, and it's not a particularly cheap car, it's a base model $43,000 car, but the colour choice basically is white, black, various shades of grey, and a red if you're lucky. So the colour choice is certainly much more limited, although you may see in some of the higher spec ones, you may get some more colours if you're willing to spend a bit more to go for a more expensive vehicle. But if you do notice on this particular one, it does show a nice blue one, whether that's a higher spec model or sometimes it's a model in a different country. Quite often in the US, you do get more colour choices than you do here in Canada. Although if you do look at the interior of this particular example, all the colours seem to be within the car itself, which I guess if you buy a car, that's pretty much what you're going to be looking at day in, day out, so maybe the exterior colour doesn't matter. For me it does. It's not that long ago you can get Mercedes, the very basic Mercedes in blues and reds. It wasn't uncommon to get a nice yellow Mercedes on a base model car. So I think that's sad that that is no longer the case. Okay, let's have a look how the brochures have actually changed from what we saw earlier as a modern internet brochure. So this is a Austin Rover full range brochure from October, November and December 1983. These tended to have 4 different brochures a year for the range, so they tended to change the brochures quite often. So they didn't mind spending quite a bit of money on the brochures at that time, rather than just having one brochure. I don't think the models themselves changed every 3 months, so I don't know why they did them so often. But like I said, this is from 1983. It is a full range one, so it shows all the different ones. They also have these trim guides with the different trims for the vehicles, and also the different colours you could get, which is also quite useful for anyone who's doing any sort of restoration project on these vehicles. And you can see straight away the much nicer colour choice than what you get on modern cars today. We'll just have a look at a few different brochures in this introduction video. This is the Triumph Dolomite from the late 70s. A similar sort of thing, but you can certainly date the brochure itself just purely by the different styles of pictures you have, and the different backgrounds you could get on these different versions. We will look at these in more detail in a later video. This is the Citroen Id19. This is actually from 1966, and this is actually for the French market. It does have a dealer stamp there from Paris. I don't know if you can pick that out from on the camera there, maybe just about. Obviously that's going to be in French text, but very interesting pictures in here, showing again how it's changed over time. These tended to be much wordier brochures, and almost like more artistic in their photography. Really not really concentrating hugely on the car itself, just more on design, which I suppose is what these big Citroens were all about, the design. And just a couple more brochures. This is actually a Land Rover Discovery brochure from 1996. This is what I would refer to as the Series 1 facelift brochure, although in some markets they do refer to this rather confusingly as the Discovery 2, but really it's just a facelift of the Series 1. Much cleaner lines if we compare it to the actual Series 1, the first one. There we go, which was actually launched in 1989. Well, this is a 91 brochure. You can see much cleaner lines on the facelift. Also, the interior has changed. A much more eccentric interior on the first original Discovery. They tended to be blue, even the dashboard were blue, although they did also do a beige design. By the time the facelifted Discovery came out in 94, they decided to go back to a more conservative black interior design. And like I said, they cleaned up the front there as well. Interestingly about these Discoveries, and that is actually a price list. We might have a look at these, like I said, a future video, that's going to be a price list for that. Interestingly with these Land Rovers, they did used to come out with this separate colour chart, which was very interesting. And you can see the lovely colours there, much nicer than today's colours, much greater choice. And also they also did a few different interior choices. Depending on what model you got and depending on what colour you got is depending on which you got. For example, the XS trim had this sort of like a printed Land Rover logo on the seats. Again, interesting to look back at, also interesting for restorers who are looking back on these colour charts. They're also interesting as well, but certainly I find them interesting that they do sort of date the time. Colours do tend to change over time, as well as what becomes most popular. Different years have different colours which are the most popular, but a huge difference from today's greys. I looked at a Prius, and the base model Prius here in Canada, you could get it in white, black or grey. So not much colour choice these days for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe everyone just wants a grey car now, I'm not sure. Okay, thank you for listening to this video. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Like I say, we'll go into more details of various makes and models in future videos. If you are interested in this subject, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.